So my name is Paal Soberg. I'm a Magento solution consultant at Session Digital. And today I'll be giving you an overview to Magento 2, its new features, and also taking the questions that you may have. So in Session, we've been working with Magento 2, which you may or may not know. We've been working with Magento 2 now since July, when we started working on the merchant beta. As part of merchant beta, which was where Magento released the Magento 2 code to certain agencies, so we can try it out with varied range of merchants. We work with Grace and Barredo. So with Grace, you're probably all quite familiar with in UK as the subscription nuts and snack provider. We launched a Magento 2 site for them. Obviously not the subscription business, but a direct offering where you can actually pick whatever snack you want yourself. So we launched in, I think, in November. Been working really well on Magento 2, and currently we are working on the phase 2 as part of that project. Another project we did was Barredo, which is cosmetic perfumes, etc. We've delivered that also in November, around in the same week as the Magento 2 was launched. Barredo is a part of a bigger group of companies, and we've now started projects in terms of bringing all the brands onto the Magento 2 platform. And in addition to that as well, we've started a couple of additional discoveries for new Magento 2 sites, which will be able to be starting in the next few weeks as well. So there's a lot going on, a lot of interest from Magento 2 from merchants, and that's even though Magento 2 is new, and obviously some would say may potentially see it as risky. However, a lot of merchants has been taking it on and really like working with it, think it's faster, think it's better, more intuitive, etc. What I'll do now, I'll basically share my screen. I will give you a demo for, it lasts about 20 to 25 minutes, I'd say. I'll go through it. While it goes on, if you can just ask any questions in the chat, and obviously we've got Louise and a couple of others monitoring the chat and picking out a few questions for me that I can answer at the end of it. So once I've gone through the screen share, I'll switch back to me. So unfortunately, you have to bear with me again after the screen share, and I will then answer any questions. Depending on how many questions we get, we may not be able to answer all of them, but if so, then obviously we can follow up after it per email. You can get in touch at sessiondigital.com, and you can also use our Twitter handle, etc., and we'll get back to you. Okay, so if you just bear with me a couple of minutes, and I'll switch over to my second screen here. This is the new Magento 2 site. It's using the Luma theme, which is the demo theme supplied by Magento. I know the audience here today is probably slightly varied. Some have experience with Magento and some have not experienced Magento. This demo will go on for about 20 minutes around that, and then we can go into questions after that. So for this purpose, I'll go through the new features of Magento 2 and basically improvements of Magento 1, various other features. So any further obviously knowledge you'd like to know about Magento 2, we can follow up in either in questions or by sending an email to getinTouch@sessiondigital.com. Okay, so with the new theme here, the content on the homepage is powered by blocks and widgets, which is same features as with Magento 1, just more prominently used in Magento 2. I'll show you the purchase journey as a guest and as a registered user, as that will highlight some of the improvements in Magento 2. So first of all, let's go to the top level categories. So this is fairly standard as with Magento 1. You can have a landing page using starting blocks. Then I'll go into the product listing page. we have some improvements. The layer navigation is working in the same way as with Magento 2. If you select a style, for example, then I have to clear that one before I can select another one. I can't multi-select. Now the feature here is around how the product listing is displayed. Obviously you can see the name, list, review, etc. But here you got the color swatch and also text swatch coming through, which is new. Also an added feature is I can start changing the colors and it will update the image. So the image, you can associate an image with a swatch. So whether that's the color swatch or in this case the text swatch. Okay, and I'll go through to the product page. Again, we got the same functionality here on this page. You can just change the image as you please. Obviously, the main gallery will be on the default image, and then select it. Obviously, you just have a single image. Now, with the latest 1.14, you had the ability to have a swatch as an attribute, and you had to upload a swatch. Now, there's some additions to this. In addition to upload a swatch, you can also select the color from a color chart. So this is basically selected from a color picker, or you can also enter hex value. You can also have enter text swatch, which is great for sizes, for example, as you used in this instance. Another additional feature is product video, which was absent in Magento 1. As you can see here, I've added a product video to the gallery, which means this should be pulling through. Apologies. Live difficulties. Have to just bust my cache. Here we go. There's the product coming through. So I've added a video to my gallery. It natively supports Vimeo and also YouTube if you enter the YouTube gallery. You can see it plays nicely in screen. And I can pause it and just change it back to the gallery. You can also select, which I'll show in admin afterwards, you can select the video to be used as a base image. So it comes up at the first thing you land on the page and it will automatically play. And you can also use it as the thumbnail, etc. And you can also upload a separate thumbnail if you're not happy with the one that will automatically pull from the video. Okay, so let me go through and add the product to baskets. In terms of the rest of the product page, it is fairly the same as Magento 1. You got reviews, details, pull in the attributes. You also got related products, etc. For example, here, simple product, I can just tick a box and it will automatically add it to the cart. You see, it comes up a message here and in the baskets. I can edit the basket here. I can also go through to the basket. This looks obviously slightly better with Magento 2. You have the cross cells on the basket page as with Magento 1. This estimate ship and tax is just a widget that you can turn off. You can also check out multiple addresses if you like. Again, it can be switched off. So for this purpose, I'll go through the Magento 2 checkout, which is brand new and a lot better. This is actually what we call an assumed guest checkout. So there's no register or checkout as guest or login, etc. You have a sign in the top right corner, or you can simply start typing in. For example, if I type in admin.com, so it will now check whether this email exists and doesn't recognize it. So I can continue as a guest, and it also tells me that I can create an account after checking out. Okay, so I'll just type in our address. So change to the United Kingdom as well. Obviously using the default Magento data. Type in a name, a number, sorry, and it will automatically pull in the shipping method or rate based on enough information entered in the shipping details. For example, if I change it back to the United States, it will just update it straight away. Okay, so just automatically updated. Checkout is built in Knockout.js. For if there's any technical persons, obviously I'm not a technical person, but if there's any technical requirements, sorry, questions, we can direct to our technical guys internally afterwards. So I'll enter shipping address, went to the next stage, and here I can select my payment method. Obviously, this is a Magento demo site. I will select a check money order, which basically allows me to check out without making any payments. But if you have your PayPal, your credit debit cards, etc., or your payment gateways, you'll be able to select them here in the same fashion as with Magento one. You can also change your billing address. So obviously this is you. I'm just saying I would like to use my same billing address. You can also apply a discount code or gift card, etc. And you can always see order summary in the right-hand method. Column. And you also can go back to the previous stages here and also down here. So I'll just go ahead and place my order. And I will obviously get my order confirmation page, and you'll see here it'll come up a message that I can track my order status if I create an account. And when I click create an account, this email will be sent an email where I just get instruction how to create an account, and I can then track my order, which is great. Lower the barrier for obviously for purchasing. And now I'll simply do a logged in checkout. So I'll go back to the home page. For this purpose, I'll just add, say, this bag to my cart. And I'll show you how the journey is and checkout with if I actually got a logged in user. So again, proceed to my checkouts. And now in the email field, I'll enter in the Magento demo user, which hopefully should be recognized. There you go. So now it gives me the option to actually still continue as a guest if I, for some reason, don't want to log in or can't remember the password, I guess. Or I can just type in the password and click login, and it will go to my shipping address screen straight away. Okay, so now I can select easily between my address, then you can see the shipping methods will update as I click between the addresses. I can add a new address and it will come up in a pop-up. Once I've selected my shipping address, I can go through to the payment, which is the same again. Nothing changed apart from obviously I can select between previously added billing addresses, and I'll just go for the same. Then once I'm ready to place an order, I'll just place it. And that's how easy it is with the checkout. It's much more quicker and less laborious than the Magento 1 checkouts. Okay, so I'll move into the admin interface now. So I'll go back to the dashboard here, previously logged in. Right, so this is a big difference from Magento 1. Magento 1, obviously you had the free, you that used Magento 1, you had the menu at the top, and then now it's been moved on to the on the left-hand side. It's also fully responsive and touch-friendly, so you can use it on your mobile or on your tablet, and without any loss of functions. So you can check your orders, you can update your products, etc. Also in Magento 1, the menu wasn't very intuitive. You had to look hard to actually find the information that you needed. But here in Magento 2, it's much more improved. For example, in the products, you only got catalog and categories, which makes sense, and all of the stuff about attributes, etc., has been moved into the stores. I'll just go through all the menus here. So you got customers there where you can just easily manage the customer data, the segments. Then you got the marketing where you got promotions, related product rules, enterprise feature, car price rules, gift card accounts, which again, enterprise. And then you got the private sales with enterprise feature. You got the email templates. So that's your transaction emails. You can make change that it's the same fashion as with Magento 1. You got the newsletter system as with Magento 1. You got auto email reminders. So for example, abandoned basket, again, an enterprise feature. You got your reviews and obviously the rewrite search terms and sitemap settings. And the content, you got pages, hierarchy, blocks, banners, and widgets. Same with Magento 1, but hierarchy and banners, obviously there's enterprise features. and you can also set your themes as well. Reports more easily viewable, I guess, the report section compared to Magento 1. Under stores, here's where you got all your settings. So I can go into manage my stores. So create new websites, new store views, etc. This goes into the configuration screen, which is largely the same. You got the custom attributes and the custom address attributes, which is enterprise. You got the product attributes and attribute sets as with Magento 1. Returns, again, that's linking into enterprise and the return management authorization functionality. Rating, you can add more star ratings to your products. Manage your tax as with Magento 1. You can also do the currency, and in terms of gift wrapping and loyalty, which enterprise, you can manage your settings here. Same with Magento 1, nothing's changed. Then you got your customer groups, again, same with Magento 1. And the system one, so there's a couple of new features here, I guess. So the imports, exports is changed. In Magento 1, you had the data flow as well, data flow profiles, so that's been removed now. So you just got the import export. It is supposed to be more, now the better performance than with Magento 1. But there's some lots of functionality in terms of enterprise. No, sorry, in terms of exports, where you can't narrow down the website that you want to export on, which is a shame, really, as that's a good feature that many of our clients liked. Obviously, you got the admin action log, etc. You also got your user settings, and also you got a system report, which is a great new feature. I'll quickly show you that. Basically allows you to get a snapshot of the configuration on the website. So you can see I've generated a few reports there. So snapshot of the configuration. So I'll just quickly show you that. So for example, I can see the configuration of my website. So if you are sure of an issue happening because of setting, rather than want to go through all the configuration to view it, you can actually view all the details there. For example, I can view the database information here. And also the shipping methods that's been set. I can view the payment functionality matrix, etc. It's a great overview to quickly, see if you can spot any issues. Same with environments, you can actually get the details of the server as well, and also data. You can figure out duplicate data, etc. Okay, so let's move on to some of the other new features in Magento 2. So probably if you've read about Magento 2, you've probably heard about the configurable order and the configurable grids. So this is present on orders, products, content, and customers. And the product and the order grid is fairly similar. So basically it means that you can drag and drop as you please. You can also add and remove columns, and you can add filters as well quickly to narrow down the views you see. As you can see, it just narrowed down straight away, and then you can save a filter as well. So if I can say this is M2 demo filter, and then I can just swap in between them. And that allows for everyone that you're working with can have different filters. Can easily get the data you need. There's no custom development to get the information you need on the order grid. If I go to the catalog grids, same again here. Obviously, you can pull through the thumbnail as well. You can switch between the views and swap around the columns, etc., just as with the order grid, which is great to narrow down the products that you need. If we go into the content grids, the grid is basically the same. However, you got an added feature of inline editing. So you can actually edit certain elements of the grid. Same goes for the customers. So for example, if the customer calls up and you want to update the email, you can just click into it and update it and save it. That's how easy it is. So that's a big improvement, I feel. Okay, so let's have a look at the catalog management. So creating a new product. So if I just go to, for example, so obviously you can select the product type you want to create. Same products as with Magento 1, gift card being the enterprise feature. Or you can simply just start by adding a product. So in Magento 1, you had to select between select the attribute set and your product type in a sort of screen between the catalog grid and this. Now you go straight into it. Attribute set, actually you just select stuff here. So I'll just select bag, for example. And in Magento 1, you have to look through all these tabs here to find the information you needed to create the product. Now it's everything is on one tab. You can set the opposite price. You can drag and drop images, or you can just drop in, or you can just upload in, in the standard grid information. You can also add in a video. So I'll just add in a misguided video here, for example. So this is what I showed you before. You can just enter the URL here, and that's it. It will just pull in the information. I can then change the opposite title if I like, and upload a description. I can also upload a separate preview image if I'm not happy with what they pulled. And here I can set it a base image, or I can set it as a certain thing, or actually hide the full product page as well if I for some reason don't want to display it. Just the same setting as you got with the images. You can set the stock status there, set default to be in stock. I can add the categories just on the fly here. So if I add, for example, men, there you go. So I just add that. You can also add a new category. Obviously, just to create just a new shell category, you still have to go in and enable it and do all the settings around it. Also, if I'm not happy with all the attributes in the bag, I can actually just add some attributes. I can either find some Mike's Meal, some demoed attributes. I can add in some extra attributes that's not in attribute sets, or I can actually just create a new attribute on the fly here. And with that, I'll show you the new visual swatch, where I can either upload a file, as I mentioned, or choose a color, or enter the hex value, etc. I can also do the text swatches. So that's where you can create that quickly. Okay. And also you can set to upload a preview image, so this is available for the text swatch and configurable swatch. Okay, so obviously you've got further settings down your left-hand side here. You can add images and videos, etc. You can also assign it to the website. And then your advanced pricing, etc., cross-sells, upsells, they're all still here, but just hidden in the advanced settings, not to scare you off once you land on this page. Another additional feature is, so if I actually just save this product here, so now obviously I've just created a new simple product. If I now want to change the attribute sets, if I realize I created the wrong one, I can still do that. In Magento 1 you couldn't, so I'll just change it slightly, and it will just basically drop all the values I've added against the bag attribute. So for example, if I was a custom attribute there against that's not in this attribute set, that was just in a bag, that value has been dropped once I save this product. So let's do that quickly. And then I'll go into the scroll down to the bottom of products, and I go configurations. So this is actually where I can create the configurable products. I can just click create configuration, and I can select between, you can see there's a few demo attributes there. I can select attributes that can be used as a configurable. So I'll just select color, it's the easiest one. Or I can create a new attributes. And then they ask me, which values of my configurable. So I'll just select 3 colors, so 3 symbols. I can then set a single set of images against all SKUs, or I can apply unique images against them. So this is where, for example, I want to be able to change between the colors. So once I select the black color, then I will show a different image. So the functionality I'm showing you in the front end, for this purpose, I'll just skip it. Now, another great feature is you can actually set unique price against the each symbol. So with Magento 1, for example, if the base price was like, say, £10, and I wanted the black one to be £12, I had to put in £2. So basically the difference between them. Now actually you just put in the price you want it to be. So if I want that to be 155, that to be £5. Sorry, £4, and that to be £10. That's the price of the product. So that's great. I can also do the quantity. So for example, single quantity against all of them. I'll just do a bulk one. Go to the next, and you got a summary of the products you entered, and generate the products. And I can then just make some quick changes here. I can just change that, and we can save it. That's how easy it is to create configurable products. Okay, just last one quickly. I'll show you the import-export functionality. There's obviously more features, etc. that once you get to know it, but just a quick overview. So for imports, you can import advanced pricing, products, customer finances, customers' addresses, main file, and addresses. So for example, customer finance, I'll show you the sampled CSV here. So you got the customer CSV here, you got the customer address. So obviously it's the first standard as from Magento 1, and you got the catalog products, and you got the advanced pricing, and you got the customer finance. Customer finance is store credits, reward points, etc. One thing I'd like to show you with products is when you import them, you can select the image. You obviously in your CSV, you just enter the file name or your image, and then you select you upload the images to a particular import, not folder, sorry. Like for example, via import, type in that folder here, and then you import it, and it will actually automatically assign it to the image. It's quite easy. Yeah, so that was a quick tour of Magento 2. I think there's obviously been a lot of code improvements, and it's been all been rebuilt, but there's also features for the admin user, the merchants, and on the front end. So I hope you got a taster for it. If you just bear with me like a minute or two, I'll just switch back to my other screen, and then I can answer any questions that you've been asking during my demo. Just bear with me, please. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the demo. So I'll be answering some of your questions now. I've seen a couple that's been sent to me by Louise, so let me just get them up. Okay, so looks like Arthur at Netcodes Direct has been active, which is great. So let's have a look at his questions. So the first question, so you basically got a Magento 1 version 1.5, and you want to migrate to Magento 2. So we're mainly interested in migrating products, attributes, and customers. That's not a problem. So in terms of that, I guess that's the most easiest thing you can migrate. Products and products, attributes, and customers. Products you can obviously do CSVs. Attributes you can use setup scripts to set up, and customers again you can mainly use CSVs. In addition to that, there's a migration tool that's been done by Magento as part of Magento 2, where you can migrate the data. Obviously, you won't migrate any code, etc., because that's rebuilt, but you can actually migrate the data. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. And obviously, if there's an additional attributes, etc., that could be easily created to migrate the required data over. So I hope that answered your question, Arthur. Let's have a look at your next question. Is there an easy way to migrate a Magento 1 extension to Magento 2, or would it be easier to just rebuild the extension from scratch for Magento 2? Okay, so I would have thought you are talking about maybe custom Magento 1 extension, which is applicable to you and your site. So in terms of the modules for Magento 1, none of them can be reused for Magento 2. They all have to be rebuilt from scratch. So obviously you can use the same logic. You can pull out your logic, for example, decouple it, and then use it for Magento 2 module. But in a sense, it will be a rebuild of any modules as well as the theme, etc. For if there's community modules, so like modules that are available on the Magento Connect, there are already modules that's been redone by the the top module providers. So you'll find them on Magento Connect, soon to be Magento Marketplace. So in that case, it'll be easier for you to migrate over. Again, if there's data that's been collected as part of this your module, your Magento 1 module, you can extend the data migrator tool to migrate over that data as well. I hope that answered the question. Let's have a look. Arthur again. Okay, so would you be kind enough to tell us how long it would take for one of your Magento 1 developers to build the basic Magento 2 extension, and including the learning time? Okay, so I guess that raises a good point in terms of learning time, because Magento 2 is it's basically rewritten. It's a much more modern PHP application. So at the start, when our Magento developers started working with Magento 2, it was, I guess, a bit of a challenge to them, because they had to develop Magento maybe in the more proper way, the way they like to do it, rather than the standard Magento way, if that makes any sense. So I guess for a new developer starting Magento 2, a PHP developer that's been developing another application following the latest tools and frameworks, etc., it'd probably be easier for them to get up to speed. With Magento 1, you might just learn to do it a better way. And in terms of how long it will take to build a basic M2 extension, I guess I can use an analogy from one of our directors. How long is a piece of string? It all depends on the experience of the developer and what you also want to achieve with it. There's plenty of examples out there and on GitHub, and also if you look at the community.magento.com, I think the address is basically Magento's message board and forum. There's links to the community there where there's example modules done, and also on our Session Digital blog, we've done lots of tutorials around developing with Composer. So we have got James Cowie, one of our technical team leads, is hugely experienced with Magento 2. I've been working on the Grace project. He's written tutorials on how to develop in Magento 2. He's done talks on it. So I recommend heading over to our blogs to read more about it and sign up for the tutorials. There's more to come. We also got admin tutorials as well that myself have done together with Andrew Stokes, one of our account managers. And yeah, as I said, there's more to come there. I think that's it from the questions. And I know obviously there's a bit of delay probably from me talking to a live feed. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to email us at getinTouch@sessiondigital.com, or just tweet us at sessiondigital, and we'll get back to you. And obviously, if you got any need for doing the Magento 2 sites, please just get in touch to talk to us. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Obviously, there's a lot more to come from us in terms of Magento 2 content, so please just follow us and see what's coming up.